Blackmore.
Metal Gear Online 2, a truly beloved game mode by fans and non-fans of the MGS franchise. Something I strongly feel even Konami during those times did not understand fully. They had something truly special under their belt. But to fully understand how this idea came to be, let's start the journey from the very beginning. Metal Gear Solid 4 was released June 12, 2008, to critical acclaim and multiple awards for its send-off letter of a story for the end, technically, of the entire franchise. But after you finish story mode, what else was there to do? A new, robust multiplayer mode for the game was introduced along with the release of the game. The online mode was officially unveiled in Kojima Productions' 20th anniversary party. An online beta was available in Japan, Europe, and North America. 3,000 players were allowed into the Japanese beta from August 20th to September 3rd, 2007. The beta test for North America and Europe lasted from April 25th to May 11th. Soon as the betas ended, people were hooked. OneUp.com got a hold of Kojima Productions' assistant producer, Ryan Payton, for an interview in which the man shed some light onto why they made the decision to split up the game in two and sell them separately. The thing is, as Payton himself claims, MGS4 and MGO has always been two different products. The original plan was to make MGO its own series that's not going to be dependent on the story mode in Metal Gear. The problem was that if we have a new Metal Gear like Metal Gear Solid, it's going to come out every 3 years, and we can't have an online going in between that time span. So it was going to have its own franchise, say Metal Gear Online 2, coming out in a year and a half or 2 years from now or something. In order for you to play MGO though, you had to create a Konami ID, a complicated system just to enter the game due to company policy. Even series creator Hideo Kojima himself was unhappy with this ID system for the game mode. A process which required you to write down multiple IDs and passwords when you already had to deal with signing into PSN just in order to play. MGO allows up to 16 players. Players can create a character down to gender, race, voice, the usual stuff. Your character receives different performance gauges between official tournaments by grade and regular matches by level. Your stats are recorded for each of your characters, as well as a title, awards, and match history. Based on weekly and long-term stats play, characters receive animal titles due to your in-game playstyles. Both ranking systems encourage playing against higher ranked players and disfavor playing against players of equal or lower ranks. Grades range from rookie to SS+, and are influenced by performance in survival and tournament rounds, which is something back then you would see so many tournaments going on, especially between well-known clans within the community. Special skills can be equipped, both manually and by placing a skill set. To enhance character abilities, they range from a lot of options and some straightforward ones, like Assault Rifle Plus, that helps with, your reload and recoil, to more complex ones, like Monomania, which pretty much turns bullets into short-term tracking devices. So you had a lot of room to experiment with abilities. Some pretty good, some that were sort of useless in certain games, but you had a max slot of 4 to choose from. So some can be upgraded, for example, like Assault Rifle Plus 3. There are a total of 14 game modes, which range from your basic deathmatch, TDM, capture, and your unique ones like example Team Sneaking or Sneaky Mission, where two teams are going against Snake and Mach 2. In closing though, MGO has 24 weapons, 11 support items, 15 maps, 14 game types with a few unique to the game, 25 different skills to unlock that you can equip like I mentioned earlier. But after the dust is settled during the first year of the game mode's life, metas start to form within the community. Smoke grenades actually force you to cough, unlike most other games where it's just a smoke screen only. Something I remembered used quite a bit in certain game modes just to find out locations of enemies. Then there's the strat of all strategies in MGO, the box. When you box instead of crouching, you are making it impossible for your opponent to shoot you when, if crouched normally, you would have been able to at close range. The trick is to this when boxing and unboxing, it messes with your hitbox more importantly, making it more difficult for your opponent to shoot you. So, when you aim down at the box, they unequip the box and headshot you while you're too busy shooting at their knees. Even if you set your sensitivity to 10 at close range, you cannot possibly shoot them unless you stop aiming and use the other camera. Being able to master this was a means of survival in most firefights in this game. This trick alone became a strong suit throughout the entire lifespan of the game.
It is time for the finals, the grand finals of the MGO World Championship 2008 individual matchups, and let's look at the Konami roster rundown.
Konami announced the Metal Gear Online World Championship 2008 tournament, with regionals happening in October at Tokyo Game Show as the finals. The US, Japan, Europe, and Asia are all the participants. Those 4 territories will hold regional championships, and the top teams there will get a free ride to the Tokyo Finals. The first championship took place in the US at Comic-Con in San Diego, California. Konami partnered with Major League Gaming, aka MLG, to host the Metal Gear Online World Championship on GameBattles.com. For the North American qualifier tournament, the top 2 teams from North America qualifier will participate in the MGO finals in Tokyo, along with an $8,000 cash prize pool and other prizes. This also applies to all the other regions to qualify as well. The winners of the championship were Team Rita of Japan. Coming in second place is Team Win, aka War is Necessary, a North American team. And I had the pleasure of speaking with Hachi Syndrome, who played for the North American team Win, as he shares his experience from the entire event with me. Keep in mind, this was at the Tokyo Game Show 2008, the same year Resident Evil 5 was revealed to the world. After day 1 of the WC Finals, they brought us to another venue and we had a live fish fry plus seafood and cotton candy. Like as in, they gutted the flopping fish live on stage. It was pretty raw. At the same venue, we were allowed to play a preview build of the meme expansion early. They had dev PS3s out on the tables, and every team got to spend about an hour or so with the game. This was kind of wild for its time, because outside of like Halo lands, you didn't really see this kind of stuff. All competitors received a kimono with the Otagon katakana embezzled on it, along with real snakeskin sandals. The event happened so long ago, so most of it is a little bit of a blur to me, but I do have fond memories of the entire event.
おめでとうございます。決勝進出です。さあ、フィランスロフィーブラックオプスの皆さんもお疲れ様でした。どうぞ大きな拍手をですね、お送りください。
素晴らしい試合でした。素晴らしい試合でした。フィランスロフィーオプス。
本当ですね。 では WIN の皆さん、今一度ステージ前にお願いします。いやー、白熱。
はい、素晴らしい試合でしたね。
素晴らしかった。
逆転ですよ、逆転。
逆転。
はい。
すごい逆転でしたけれども、いかがでしたか、今の戦いは。
It feels amazing. Very intense match. Down to the wire. Just very intense. It's insane. Feels good.
すごい緊張で最後までどうなるか分かんなかったけど頑張りました。
ねえ、結構ドキドキしましたけれども、この2ラウンド目はかなり優勢に進めていましたけれども、何かポイントはあったんですか？
Just could be cold feet. Just trying to warm up, get adjusted to them, how they play. Just we changed it up, try to adjust to how they play. So.
最初やっぱりちょっと緊張して慣れなくて、2回目はもうちょっと慣れて、もうちょっと普通のゲームできたので。
なるほどね、力を発揮できたということで分かりました。じゃあそのまま決勝でさらに力を発揮していただければと思います。
Thank you.
頑張ってくださいね。皆さん大きな拍手をお願いいたします。WIN の皆さん、はい、決勝進出おめでとうございます。
面白い。
すごい、私も興奮しました。
はい。
なんかもう、すごいですね。
はい、すごいですね。
はい、今ですね、はい、こちらのクラン戦のトーナメントが出てい
Grand
ます。
Finals of the MGO World Championship 2008 Clan Final between WIN of North America and Team Rita of Japan. Let's look at the roster rundown. Starting off on the blue team, Konami roster rundown with Rita. We have Finch, Kodak, Tad, In This World, Rosenkreuz, and Nero 310. And for WIN, we have Hachi Syndrome, Honky, Coolio, Solid Snake, Heaven, and Respect. The game type is going to be Camp, and the map is going to be Groznij Grad. As the objective of Cap, if you guys are unfamiliar with this game type, is to grab and pick him off. As he's also by himself, he doesn't have much defense going on. He's bobbing and weaving right now, but he still has Keratin on his head, and is still counting that clock down. He's at 18. It is 30 to 18 in favor of Team Rita, the winners of the first map. Now he eats that nade. He's still alive, though, and the target has been dropped, but he's under attack, and Solid Snake is going to pick him off. Now they have both targets. We're slowly counting it down here on the Gakko for the red team. Now we're going to switch back here to Tad, that does have Keratin on his head. Going for a close-range battle here, 2v2 situation. They do get the frag, exchange of kills here. They're trying to push in towards the warehouse as well. They do get that kill. Tad is trying to move up. He does get a frag as well onto Solid Snake with the M4 as he's making back towards the zone. That whole hold by the red team was totally denied here by Team Rita. As now grenades are being lobbed towards the base as well. As we were following Tad, try to make it back towards his base as they grab both Gakko and Keratin, and that is it. Blue team have won. Team Rita has won this in 2 maps.
両チーム前の方にお願いします。さあ、前の方にお願いいたします。さあ、ではどうぞこちらの方にリタのね、こちらリーダー、そしてはいリーダー、はい WIN のリーダーです。ではですね、見事世界2位準優勝です。準優勝の WIN のではリーダーにですね、この決勝戦の感想を聞かせてください。お願いいたします。
Still glad to have the opportunity to compete in this World Championship. I'd like to thank Konami, Kojima Productions, everyone for allowing us to come and compete against Japan's best.
この世界大会に来れてすごいありがとうございました。コナミと小島プロダクションにすごい楽しかったです。
よかったです。相手のリーダーはどうでしたか？
They were amazing. They had really good teamwork. They stuck together. They definitely know what they're doing.
すごい上手くてチームワークが。
皆さんにどうぞ大きな拍手をお送りください。おめでとうございました。では続いて
いや本当世界一取れると思って
ねえ。この相手北アメリカ代表と戦ったその感想はどうでしょうか？
そうですね、まあ相手クランもすごい連携が取れてて、まあすごい強かったんでね、まあ本当に世界各国の代表とやれて本当光栄ですし、 まあ、うちらも勉強することいっぱいあると思うんで、まあ、本当戦えてよかったです。ありがとうございました。
わかりました。見事優勝、世界1位のこの座を取りました日本代表のリタに今一度大きな拍手をお願いいたします。おめでとうございました。さあこの後ですね、表彰式に移りますので、準備が整うまでこちら2チームどうぞお席に戻りください。握手したいですか？ではですね、リーダー同士握手をお願いします。どうぞカメラをお持ちの方は今一度握手をねお願いします。はい、このようにですね、素晴らしい交流が見られますね。固い握手が今行われております。ではステージ前の皆さん、今一度2チームに大きな拍手をお願いいたします。優勝リタ、そして準優勝 WIN の皆さん、おめでとうございました。
For the European Championship, in the first round of the tournament finals, 8 teams competed in a single elimination style tournament, which only one team could proceed to the next round. These 8 winning teams advanced to a final stage held on March 7, 2010, where a best of 3 format was played. To the Max defeated PBO in the grand finals, and Peace of Mind defeated Potential in the third place playoff. The first, second, and third place teams received an MGS4 Edition Astro audio system and Astro Gamer Backpack Scouts. There was a bit of a controversy with one of the event players by the name of Red Wings took part in the tournament and cheated. Many EU players have said he is the sole reason there hasn't been any tournaments since EC 2010, as he wasn't the only person to have cheated. After 4 years into the game's lifespan, Konami has announced that MGO2 will be going offline this summer, which will begin on March 21st within the closing of the MGO online shop. Then, new player character creation will be shut down April 24th. Expansion packs and reward shop components to the game will be available free after this point. Then the final nail in the coffin. The servers will finally be shut down June 12th. This devastated the entire community across the world of the sudden news, when the community was just hoping for another world championship to be announced before this news. According to MGO Eyes, MGO2 was initially a 3-year continuation of the service, but was further extended due to the enthusiastic support of all users, which aligned during the time of a typical new Metal Gear release, which was usually 3 or 3.5 years. With the community in disarray, trying to figure out what to do with this news going forward, all they can do is just play to their heart's content. Thousands of people set aside time to come online in its final moments just to salute and honor its passing. On that last day, people didn't shoot each other, and fighting really didn't happen. It was just peaceful and constant chatter while they mourned. With one last salute, it was gone. After years of MGO2 being just dead in the many graveyards of multiple online games, in April 2017, MGO2 would be resurrected by a group calling themselves Save MGO, with private servers that keep not only MGO2 running, but also the original MGO from PS2's MetalGearSolid 3 Subsistence online mode up and running. But the trick to get MGO2 running again, you would need a jailbroken PS3. Many people were mixed on this, having to format your PS3 during the infancy of Save MGO, private server, and running custom firmware for it. This isn't exactly MGO2's first revival. It's been playable on the PS3 for several years thanks to a fan-made custom firmware. There's also another version playable, which is the PC version. It has the advantages of running at a higher resolution and frame rate thanks to the PS3 emulator. As the MGO2 PC website explains, PS3 emulation requires some serious CPU muscle. Ideally, you'll need at least an 8-core, 16-thread CPU to run the game at full speed, like a modern Ryzen 3700X or an i7. But what they've been able to bring back online here is seriously impressive. It's not just a limited version of the multiplayer, it's the full deal, including all the game's cosmetic items and even stat tracking. The online mode launched with MetalGearSolid 5 isn't nearly as beloved, partially due to hacking issues, server lag, and little to no communication from the dev team.
Solid was so bad.
Come here, Chris. Come here, man. Wow.
Only to find out after the ESL tournaments for MGO3, it was abandoned shortly after by the team. MGO2 is especially praised for the variety of team compositions you could put together and how effectively it combined classic Metal Gear stealth, team tactical plays similar to games like SOCOM, with some pretty goofy online antics. Probably, I must say, this will be the one Metal Gear online game you'll find pretty hilarious things like this.
Think again. Sorry, but that won't work this time.
In the end, the revival project of MGO2 continues to gather new players, willing to try out the game for themselves. Hopefully, much of the bad blood from the old community has long been buried, giving a new breath of fresh air to players to try out this once wonderful game. Continuing to receive community updates to the game, like new maps and gear. Only time will tell how far the new revival community of MGO2 will go. I wish the community nothing but luck in their continued efforts with the game. This game was seriously a big part of my early childhood, along with some of my first tastes of what online gaming was. If you made it this far towards the end of the video, thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Truly appreciate all of you. My goal with this video was to educate on the history of MGO2 from the good, bad, and all the ugly, along with the resurrection of the game itself. I give my salute to you, MGO2. It's been a wonderful ride with you, and let's continue to let the legend come back to life.